Do you, Kimberly, take this man, William, to be your lawfully wedded husband? I do. And do you, William, take this woman to be your lawfully wedded wife?
I certainly do.
Will, what are you doing here?
I just wanted to be the first in line to kiss the bride, that's all.
But it's bad luck for the groom to see the bride before the wedding.
Oh, says who?
Everybody knows it's bad luck. Remember my cousin Laverne? She saw her groom the day of the wedding, and their marriage didn't even last 6 weeks.
Kim, I don't think your cousin Laverne's marriage was jinxed by some old-fashioned superstition.
How can you be so sure?
I'd say any time you have to bind and gag the groom just to get him to the church, marriage is probably doomed already.
Oh, you?
See, no handcuffs. I'll go quietly. I'll even turn myself in.
Will, stop teasing me. Maybe I am a little superstitious. I just want everything to be perfect, that's all.
Me too. Kim, the wedding is going to be beautiful.
I'm not worried about the wedding. I want our marriage to be perfect. I want us to be together forever.
I don't think my seeing you before the wedding is going to change any of that. Nor do I believe we're here today by accident.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, it was no accident that we met 5 years ago.
Oh, yes, it was. Your car ran into mine at the corner of 8th and Spate.
Well, there you go. I had never gone home from school that way before. Something was just drawing me that direction, and then something made me run that stop sign, and then something compelled me to get your phone number.
We had to exchange numbers. The insurance company requires that.
Well, there you go. Something compelled me to buy car insurance.
It's the law. You have to have insurance in this state.
Well, something compelled the state lawmakers to make the law.
Okay. I get the point.
Seriously, Kim, you know we were meant to be together.
I know. God sure went to a lot of trouble and expense to get us together.
And I believe he's going to do everything he can to keep us together. No silly wives' tale is going to change that or jinx this marriage.
You're right, I guess. What God hath joined together, let no superstition put asunder.
There you go.
Well, what do you think we'll be like in 30 or 40, even 50 years of marriage?
I'll probably have gray hair or no hair, and my chest will hang down around my waist.
Yeah, and I'll be frumpy and saggy, too. Will you be able to deal with support hose hanging in the bathroom?
I guess, as long as they're your support hose.
Will you love me even then?
Huh? You're going to have to speak up. My batteries in my hearing aid are getting a little low.
Will you even want to look at me then?
Look at you say? I'll have to get my good eye off the nightstand next to my teeth.
You're scaring me.
Oh, Kim, I plan to look at you every day for the rest of our lives. That way I'll always be in love with what I see.
When I look at you, I see forever. Love's precious gift to my heart. One husband, one wife, sharing this life and promising all that we are.
I look at you, I see forever. Even when life takes its toll. Not that it won't be hard, not that there won't be pain, but I know the journey's worth it all when I look at you. I see you with eyes wide open. My heart isn't blinded by what I feel. When I look at you, my love, I see who God was thinking of. What His love created was you and me.
This is a story of Dick and Jane. They've been married 3 years, 5 months, and 16 days. Every morning they wake up at 6 o'clock a.m. They go out for a 5-mile jog with their dog Spot. And then it's home for a nutritious breakfast, 1 egg over easy, wheat toast and jam, 8 ounces of freshly squeezed orange juice and coffee black. At 7:40, they get up and walk out of the door of their beautiful home to their day at their wonderfully fulfilling and rewarding jobs. Dick and Jane, they are so happy. But one day, something happened in Dick and Jane's house. An intruder invaded their home, and the experience would change their lives forever.
Hey, Dad, this is Ben. Oh, nothing much. I was just calling to tell y'all thank you for the birthday gifts that you gave Royden. Oh, yeah, he got a big kick out of them. Yeah. But I think he liked the storybook more than he did the dump truck. Well, I got to telling him how the storybook was exactly the same one that you read to me when I was a kid. Yeah, he thought that was Tool. Yes, sir, he still can't say his C's very well, but he does have a pretty good vocabulary for a 3-year-old. But showing him that book, let me tell him how when I was a kid, we'd curl up in bed together and you'd read those stories to me. In fact, Dad, I think those stories changed my life. No, really. Yes, sir. Right. Well, those stories were about real people, not make-believe. Right, yeah, we did read make-believe. Oh, you remember, Jack and the Beanstalk was my favorite. But Dad, stories like David and Goliath, Jonah and the whale, you can't find those stories in any fairy tale. In fact, I'd have to say that those stories are the foundation for my faith today. Yeah, I guess I never did tell you that, huh? Right. Well, Dad, remember how you used to pray with us at night before we went to bed? How you taught us to pray in a real conversation to God, not just some rhyme that we memorized and said over and over each night. Yeah, those were special times. I miss them too, Dad. Well, speaking of bed, Tammy's getting the kids ready for bed, so I better go help her. Right, well, tell Mom I love her. Okay, we'll get the kids out there soon. Okay. Hey, Dad, thanks. I love you. Bye. There's a little boy with tousled hair at his father's knee, listening to nursery rhymes and stories of the sea. But the tales are not of godly men, they're only make-believe. They're nothing more than nursery rhymes and stories of the sea.
Come on, Kayla. Hi, Melissa. Thought you said your mom wouldn't let you come outside today.
Yeah, well, my mom changed her mind.
How come?
Hey, you make enough noise inside the house, and pretty soon they're screaming for you to go outside.
That's pretty smart thinking. Last week, my grandparents were here from out of town,
And I had to stay quiet for 4 whole days.
Summer.
Yeah, and every time I made a noise, my mom would give me one of her looks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it started with her squinting her eyes and kind of rolling her lips in, you know?
Yep, I know that look all too well. And then her face gets red and smoke starts coming out of her ears, right?
You got it. You know, I learned something last week. Every time my mom had that look on her face, my grandma would just sit there and smile.
Oh, sure. It's called the curse.
The curse? What's that?
It's what parents put on their kids.
Really?
Yes. They point their finger in the kid's face and say, I just hope one day you have a child just like you.
Wow, does the curse work?
Apparently, my grandma says I'm just like my mom.
Oh, so that's why my grandparents smile so much.
That's it. It must make them so happy to know that that curse worked.
Do you think our kids will be just like us someday?
Definitely.
Good. Maybe then my mom will smile. Mom and Dad, I learned a thing or two. I just figured out what makes me like you.
It wasn't just an accident that I am who I am. I had to be a product of a very special plan.
Jeans, it's in the jeans. But use a part of you to make a whole new me. Jeans, it's in the jeans. It's a really clever plan. It's a pretty awesome thing to think that what I am is in the jeans. God made me like everything He makes. He works really hard not to make mistakes. It wasn't just an accident that I am who I am. I had to be a product of a very special plan. Jeans, it's in the jeans. It's a part of you to make the whole new me. Jeans, it's in the jeans. It's a really clever plan. It's a pretty awesome thing to think that what I am is in the jeans.
My eyes are blue because of you.
My hair is brown because of you. I'm short.
I'm tall. I'm kind of small.
I'm a product of your jeans. Jeans, it's in the jeans. Use a part of you, make a whole new me. Jeans, it's in the jeans. It's a really clever plan. It's a pretty awesome thing to think that what I am is in the jeans. Think that what I am is in the jeans. Think that what I am is in the jeans.
Train up your children in the way they should go. Show them the lessons of the heart. Teach them the truth that they most need to know when they are
prodigal son, I thought I could run from the truth. I wandered away, squandered the days of my youth. But when I had come to the end of myself, I found I was left all alone. But the light of the truth I had known led me back home. So train up the children in the way they should go. Show them the lessons of the heart. Teach them the truth that they most need to know. And when they are home, they won't depart. Sometimes we fear our children won't hear what we say. Now it's their turn. What did they learn from our ways? But if we were careful to teach them His word, to water the seeds we had sown, the light of the truth we have shown will lead them back home. So train up the children in the way they should go. Show them the lessons of the heart. Teach them the truth that they most need to know. When they are home, they won't depart. Faith weaves the truth into the fabric of youth, like threads of a tapestry. If our children become what they see when they're young, 'cause our faith runs in the family. So train up your children in the way they should go. Show them the lessons of the heart. Teach them the truth that they most need to know. When they are home, they won't depart. So train up the children in the way they should go. Show them the lessons of the heart. Teach them the truth that they most need to know. When they are home, they won't depart. When they are home, they won't depart. And when they are old, they won't depart.
We don't sit down to the table to a meal with all the members of the family there. Unfortunately, sometimes not even once a day, whereas we used to have 3 meals a day with all the family members present, and then daily life routine of conversation and giving and taking turns and returning thanks at the table and giving our thanks for all our blessings. We make a mistake when we don't have time to really have togetherness in our family.
Dear Audrey, I know it's only been a few days since you left for college, but I thought I'd write anyway. Thought you'd like to get some mail from home. It's pretty quiet around here. Sometimes your dad and I think we hear little feet racing down the hallway or loud rock music coming from your room. But then, of course, we realize it's just our imaginations. Your dad misses you a whole lot. Yesterday, I caught him standing in the backyard watching the Abbott children playing next door. He said he was looking in his rose garden, but I think he was just remembering the days when you and your brother played in our backyard. I never thought I'd miss all the noise, but I do. It's too quiet. Now you be sure to get enough rest and eat right. You don't want your resistance to get low, what with cold season coming on. I know, I worry too much, but I'm a mother. It's my job to worry. Audrey, if you need anything, don't hesitate to call. Collect, day or night. Just call, okay? Well, honey, there's not much news to tell you right now, except that I miss you, and that's not really news. But I already miss the way you leave the bathroom all messy. How you leave the car in the driveway with an empty tank. How you twirl your hair when you read. Audrey, you're always in our prayers. Know that your dad and I love you so much. But remember, well, it's even hard for me to imagine. There's someone who loves you even more than we do. May he bless and keep you in his care. Love, Mom. P.S. Here's some money. Don't spend it on junk food.
When you were small, I could tell. When you were hurt or sad, you would cry. Then I would try to ease the pain you had. I'd rock you gently late at night and kiss the pain away. And in the morning it would be okay. I know your hurts are bigger now in places I can't touch, though I can try. I know that I can never do enough. I'd rock you gently if I could and kiss the pain away, if only I could make it all okay. So I commend you to the Father. He'll wrap his arms around you. He'll calm your fears and bind your wounds much better than I can do. And he'll be with you forever, wherever you may go. So I commend you to the Father, who loves you so.
the lean years strengthened us for the times ahead because we depended on each other, we depended on the Lord. And we certainly had to have a budget. And we didn't go over it because that would have been disastrous. You know, it's just, we only bought what we had to have and what we needed. And our children learned from that too.
Hey, Mom?
I'm up here, son.
Mom? That was the moving company on the phone, and they said a moving van would be here first thing in the morning.
Good, thanks, honey.
Mom, you sure you want to do this? I mean, you've lived in this old house for 40 years.
Honey, don't worry about me. It was my decision to move to the retirement home, remember?
Yeah, but this is where the memories are. You and Dad raised a family here.
No, the memories aren't in this house. I've got them tucked away in a much safer place.
Well, if you say so.
Well, besides, with your dad gone, I just don't need this big of a house.
Well, it is kind of old, and it does need a few repairs, but hey, I'd be willing to help you fix it up.
No. Now, I've already sold it to a nice young couple with a young family, and they're wanting to fix it up for them, and I prayed really hard about this, and I know it's the right thing to do.
I'm sorry. I'm just being a little sentimental. Funny, I used to think this old attic was so big and so scary.
You were a lot smaller then.
Yeah, I was. Look, here's my old baseball glove. Well, I had some great times playing catch with Dad in the backyard of this old thing.
You boys broke a lot of windows.
Yeah, we got a little rowdy at times. I was a pretty wild pitcher, and Randy, he was a great long ball hitter.
I think every window in this house has had to be replaced at one time or the other. I think your dad broke some windows too.
Well, not exactly.
What?
Sometimes we'd break something, and he'd tell you he did it. He didn't think you'd yell at him.
That was your father, always thinking of you boys. So see, we've got our memories stored away. We don't need this house to keep them in.
I suppose. Mom, I'm really proud of you.
Proud of me for what?
I'm proud of your courage and your wisdom of knowing when to let go.
Well, honey, the trick isn't knowing when to let go. It's knowing what to let go of.
Really?
You only hold on to those things that will last.
I love you, Mom.
Up in the attic, down on my knees, lifetimes of treasures, timeless to me, letters and photographs, yellowed with years, some bringing laughter, some bringing tears. Time never changes the memories, the faces of loved ones bring to me.
Another hurried Monday morning, stayed in bed a bit too long. Now the kids are running crazy, seems everything is going wrong. Sometimes the pace is overwhelming, the world comes crashing down on you. It's hard to keep a family going, and all alone, what can you do? But keep on trusting, single mother. Keep on praying, single dad. God is able, He will keep you through the troubled times you have. He gives strength when you are weary. He gives hope when hope seems gone. With your whole heart keep believing, God will lead you home. With your heart just keep believing, He will lead you home. Now the day at work is past, demands at home have just begun. For the weary there's no resting, a parent's job is never done. Some your house is still and silent, and you're finally on your own. That aching sadness comes upon you, for you don't want to be alone. Keep on trusting, single mother. Keep on praying, single dad. God is able, He will keep you from the troubled times you have. He gives strength when you are weary. He gives hope when hope seems gone. With your whole heart keep believing, God will lead you home. With your heart just keep believing, and He will lead you home. Keep on trusting, single mother. Keep on praying, single dad. God is able, He will keep you through the troubled times you have. He gives strength when you are weary. He gives hope when hope seems gone. With your whole heart keep believing, God will lead you home. With your heart just keep believing, He will lead you home. Keep on trusting. Keep on praying. Keep on praying.
It starts with two people. And as they grow in love, they become one person. And as their love grows, eventually, they begin to add other people. And the two who became one now are three, or four, or even more. Time goes fast for a while. Finally, the four or more become three. then 2, and then 1 again. Time goes by, and suddenly, half of the 1 is gone. But they are still 1, not a half, but 1. For a loving Heavenly Father sustains and fulfills and brings wholeness until this 1 is together again. You see, the Father uses His extended family to fill in the gaps, to come alongside and help those who are alone. He uses our hands to embrace, our voices to encourage. He uses us to reach out for Him. Now, we are not all bound by flesh and blood, but we are bought by His flesh and blood. And if we are all His, then we are all His family, the family of God.
I think Jesus probably answered that question when He condensed what man's relationship should be with God into the great commandment that first we should love God with all of our strength and all of our mind and all of our heart, but then we should love our neighbors as ourselves. And to me, that term neighbors would include our spouses and our children and our parents and our next door neighbor and the acquaintance that lives 1,000 miles away. And to all of those, we individually should be dispensing a godlike grace of love and care and concern and forgiveness. All of those things not necessarily being deserved or merited, but we could try, like God does, simply to dispense that kind of grace. And if we were successful in doing that, I think marriages would be strong and unbreakable. I think church fellowships would be, and really the whole world would be too.
What will you leave behind?
If you could leave one thing to future generations, what would it be?
A painting?
A drawing?
Some work of art you create to remind everyone who you once were.
Would you leave to them a song?
A melody.
A lyric that would remain to keep your memory alive?
Or would you leave a journal?
A diary.
A book full of wise truths you have gained in your life so that all who come behind you may benefit from your wisdom.
The explorers can leave their findings.
The wealthy, their endowments. The notable can leave their names.
But
what among these things will last for eternity? Nothing.
No sculpture.
No manuscript.
No investment is as indestructible,
as incorruptible as the legacy of love for Jesus Christ you may leave behind.
The children, be they yours,
or those of others, need for us to pass along the treasure of eternity.
We cannot force it upon them.
We cannot merely wish for them to somehow find it.
We cannot even leave it to them in our last wills and testaments.
The treasure of eternity must be passed on now.
Every day. Like a burning passion.
A passion that will not be silent.
What
will you leave behind?
More importantly, what will you do today to pass along the treasure, the passion of your heart?
What will you do now?
Eternally.
For future generations.
We